Attractive small dove of humid forest edges and clearings in tropical lowlands. In some places wanders into small rural villages, typically rather wary, and most often seen in fast, rather direct flight, as singles or pairs. Powder blue male is striking and distinctive. Female is most easily identified when with the male. On lone females, note the rusty rump and rather long rusty tail. Unmistakable ground dove, brownish above and whitish below. Note the black spotting on the wings, and the yellow eye-ring and legs. In flight the tail is V-shaped, with black sides and white tips, found in grasslands and at the woodland edge, where it feeds on the ground. The song is a series of high-pitched, wah-whoop 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 notes. Very scarce and rarely seen small dove of foothill and mountain forest and edge, usually with patches of seeding bamboo, most often seen in fast direct flight, rarely seen perched or feeding in low vegetation or on the ground. Male deep blue-gray with purple bands on the wings and a maroon breast, white outer tail feathers striking when tail is spread. Female with dark bill, and brown overall with dark reddish-brown bands on the wings. Rump and tail less rusty than similar female blue ground dove of humid tropical lowlands. Extremely rare ground dove, possibly extinct. Males are dark gray-blue with broad dark bands on the wings. In flight, exhibit white outer tail feathers. Females are similar but brown. Apparently is, or was, highly dependent on humid forests with flowering bamboo. The song is undescribed, but was reportedly similar to that of blue ground dove, also separated from blue ground dove by the black outer tail feathers, and females with spotted wings. Rather small and stocky dirt-colored dove of the high Andes. The namesake golden spots on wing coverts are hard to see. Favor sandy and fine stony soils in puna grasslands, villages with animal corrals, and adjacent farmland. Found in pairs or flocks, feeding on ground where plumage can be remarkably cryptic, often not seen until it flushes from close range, with a loud rattling wing whistle. Smaller and shorter tailed than black-winged ground dove with contrastingly blackish underwings, without the white shoulder flashes seen on black-winged. Rather plain, medium-sized dove of the Andes and foothills, often fairly common on open grassy and stony slopes, at bogs, around animal corrals, and villages in agricultural areas, usually in pairs or flocks, sometimes mixed with Sierra finches, and other seed-eating birds. Feeds on ground, but often perches on prominent rocks, flushes with a loud rattling wing whistle. Note diagnostic orange teardrop under eye and white shoulder flashes, that show best in flight. Smaller than eared dove, without big black spots on wings. Attractive but easily overlooked small dove of the Andes, fairly common on rocky and scrubby slopes, around towns and villages and agricultural areas, usually in pairs or flocks, sometimes mixed with other seed-eating birds, feeds on ground, but perches on walls and prominent rocks, often not seen until flushed from close range, when flies up with a loud rattling wing whistle. Pale dappled wing coverts and big orange earring are diagnostic. Medium-sized, terrestrial dove of the high Andes in NW Argentina. Note bright orange-red facial skin and plain wings. From other ground doves and range by plain wings, and extensive bare skin around the eye. Prefers rocky slopes and grasslands, but fairly tolerant to human settlements. Stunningly beautiful dove that has only recently been rediscovered. Cinnamon-colored overall but paler below. Note the conspicuous dreamy blue eyes and blue wing spots. Now only known from one location in Minas Gerais, Brazil, where it occurs in open savanna and grasslands on white sands, and forages in pairs on the ground. Song is a repetition of soft notes. Wah wah wah. At rest, the pale brown gray of the body contrasts with its black bill and iris, pale wing panel framed by a black border. In flight, the dark under and upper wing contrasts with a pale wing panel and brown-gray coverts. Tail mostly white, but central tail feathers are gray-brown, mostly covering tail from above. Generally found in open areas including grassland, savanna, at the forest edge, and often urban areas. The voice is a series of you-wee-you-wee-you-wee-you-woo notes. Small, dirt-colored dove of desert lowlands, where it is often common in towns, parks, farmland, and semi-open areas in general. In pairs or small groups, feeds on the ground but often perches on wires. Flight is rather fast and direct, and usually low. Readily identified by diagnostic bright orange base on a rather stout for a dove bill. Male has more blue-gray tones than pinkish female. Call is a distinctive wet quacking, or farting sound, not a croak, usually given in short series. Essentially a ground dove with a long tail. Pale sandy color with scaly pattern covering entire body, unlike common ground dove. Look for obvious white outer tail feathers, and rufous wings in flight. Fairly common from the southwestern US to far western Panama. Found in pairs or small groups in neighborhoods, parks, and scrubby desert habitats. Listen for repeated soft whistled song, sounding like, no hope. Whirring wingbeats sound almost like a rattlesnake when it takes off. Distinctive pale gray dove with black feather edges giving a scaly appearance. In flight has striking rufous flight feathers, and a tricolored, black, gray, and white tail. The song is an easily remembered continuous repetition of pow co pow, very common, found in open areas, forest edges, grasslands, and urban areas. Tiny dove with short, square-tipped tail. Male is sandy brown with a pinkish hue. Female is slightly duller. Look for scaly pattern on neck and breast, dark spots on wings, and pink bill with dark tip. In flight, look for rufous wings and small white corners on tail. Fairly common from the southern U.S. to southeast Brazil. Inhabits open or shrubby areas with tall grasses or groves of trees, including riparian corridors and open savannas, also in towns. Usually in pairs or small groups on the ground, also perches in low trees and shrubs. Eats seeds, grains, and some insects. Compare with female ruddy ground dove and plain-breasted ground dove, especially because female common can have reduced scaling. Can occur in mixed flocks with other ground doves. Small dove with square tail, found primarily in western Ecuador but also in far southern Colombia and northern Peru. Occurs in lowlands and foothills, where it is seen in pairs or small flocks, in open agricultural areas or brushy woodland. Male is overall pale grayish-brown with a blue-gray crown, and nape and black spots on the wings. Legs are pink. Female is similar to male but somewhat warmer brown, and she lacks gray on the head and has duller legs. In flight, both sexes lack rufous in the wings. Small, well-named ruddy dove of humid open and semi-open areas, often in villages and even towns, where sometimes perches on wires, often in groups, sometimes even 100 birds, which flush explosively from underfoot. Male is ruddy overall, but much paler in West Mexico. Female is plain grayish-brown overall, lacking scaly breast of slightly smaller common ground dove. Like other ground doves, both sexes of ruddy show bright rusty wing patches in flight. Small, inconspicuous dove of savannas and open grassland, with scattered low bushes and palmettos, also found locally in cane fields and pastures, usually found in pairs or small groups, sometimes associating with other ground doves. Both sexes are rather plain overall, with diagnostic purple marks on the back, although the color is often hard to see. The female can be easily confused with the much commoner ruddy ground dove, which also has a plain breast, but the ruddy ground dove is larger and warmer brown overall. Also note vocal differences.